Well, hello friends, welcome to my new vlog. It's the third week in October and time is speeding up. We're getting on to Halloween and of course life just goes on as normal as well. In this video I'm going to show you some things I've been doing, some ideas for crafts. I don't know if I'll cook anything this week. I mean, I'm not a great cook anyway, but that's, I think we'll do different things this week. I must say I am really enjoying this October. With one caveat, my cat Cookie his health is kind of declining and that's been sad, but you know, it's a part of life and he's a wonderful cat who I'm very grateful for, and he's still here. Thank goodness. He's just now getting medication twice a day because of his diabetes problem. However, as I say, he is here and you know, I'm very lucky to have had him. Last week when I finished my video, I was about to watch the Haunting of Borden House, I think. And I love that video and I was going to tell you why I like that film so much. So here we go. So here's the DVD case, The Haunting of Borden House. It stars Donna Spangler, who is an American actress. And there is, why do I like this video so much? I would say the actors are very appealing. There is a group of like 5 or 6 young people in their early 20s who come to live in this house. Donna Spangler is renting out rooms. And I would say that they're all, you know, they're kind of nice people. I feel they're nice. Donna Spangler's character is rather mysterious and sort of weird. Another very bizarre thing about this video is I'm sure it was filmed in a house in Beverly Hills in Los Angeles, and I've actually visited that house just from the outside. I was in Beverly Hills and I just was struck by this really pretty house, and I ended up going up to it and taking some pictures. And then when I watched this movie, I thought, gosh, that really looks like that house I saw. And I checked back my pictures and I'm sure it was that house. I mean, what are the odds? There are thousands of houses in Beverly Hills. Why would I go up to that one? Anyway, so I really liked it. I think it used to be that you could visit the actual Borden house and it was a museum. If you don't know, Lizzie Borden was a young woman in the Victorian times in America who is suspected strongly of having murdered her mum and dad, I think with an axe. But because she was a middle-class white woman, the courts just couldn't accept she was guilty and they let her go. But it seems like it really must have been her. She had mental problems, and as I say, it was just because of her being a white woman who was middle class. They simply couldn't stomach the fact she could be a killer. So she got off, and I think she had quite a nice life. She had her parents' money and she went on trips to New York and bought lovely clothes and gosh, anyway. So that's not so much what the movie's about, but I just do really enjoy it. It's really nice. Other films I've been watching this night include Spooky Night. I think because I've been a bit upset about my cat, I've gone more towards like children's, young people's films to be a bit comforted. Spooky Night is about some young people who, as a sort of dare prank, they lock themselves into a spirit Halloween shop in America for the night. I think actually on Halloween night. And if you don't know, Spirit Halloween is a big pop-up company that in America every October they will get empty retail spaces and they will set up a Spirit Halloween. I think for the whole of maybe September and October, you buy your Halloween merch there and then they close up for the year after Halloween. So they're a very specialist thing. And it's got a lot of good jump scares and jokes. It's a nice movie, and it has that famous actor from Back to the Future. It's early in the morning and I can't remember his name, but he's absolutely wonderful actor. So there we go. I like that one. I also saw Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which I've never seen. I think, but the time this came out in the cinema, life was a bit crazy for me. I didn't get to go and see it. So I did finally see it. And again, it was fantastic. It was kind of dedicated to the actor who played Spengler in the original Ghostbusters. And it's all about his daughter and how she's an absolute brain box and kind of saves the day, and it was fantastic. Really, really liked that one as well. So yeah, let's get on to our first kind of fun thing. Okay, friends. Well, this is my project. I'm going to try to put some of these autumn leaves onto this glass jar to make a sort of luminary. I saw this done on Christopher Needman's channel, so I thank Christopher Needman for that. I didn't have a sort of big jar like he had, but I did have one of these sort of kitchen jars. They're quite famous. My mum many years ago once went to the shop in London where they sell these, and she bought loads of them, and over the years some of them have lost their lids. So on this occasion I'm going to use this one to try and do the luminary. So I got Mod Podge glue, and I've also got a bit of sponge. I couldn't find any of my spatula sponges, though I have loads of them. They just, in the mess of this house, I can't find them. So it's very, very simple. I'm just going to put some glue onto the glass jar and try and get the leaves on. So this will be a bit of a laugh. It will either, when Christopher Needman did it, it looked really lovely. Okay, try a little leaf to begin with. Okay, just to let you know, with Mod Podge it does dry clear. So yeah. Okay, this is looking harder than I thought. Okay, maybe I have to hold this on for a bit. Okay. Maybe I'll come back in a minute. Okay, friends, well that doesn't seem to be working at all, so I'm going to try a smaller leaf and see if I can get that to go on. If I put on absolutely loads of Mod Podge, will that work? Okay. Here's a really, really cute little leaf. I'll try putting that on. Okay. That's, I think, the proportion. You need to have absolutely loads and loads of glue. That makes it better. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's take this one off for a second. Okay, I think it has to be really, really kind of swimming in glue, and then the leaf has to stick to it, but the leaf will not stick to it if it has a choice. So you really have to remove the leaf's choice. Okay, so just try and put it on there. Okay, I've got another tiny little leaf here, so I'm going to put that one on there. Ooh, it's all curling up. I'm sure on Christopher Needman's one, you know, there were very crumply leaves as well. Okay, come back to you in a bit. Okay, friends, well, it's really not looking very good at all, but I'm going to persevere, and I will come back to you in a few hours and we'll see kind of how it's looking. Obviously, the more glue you put on, the harder it is to hold. So maybe what I'll do now is I will just try and put this down and hold it in place somehow to dry. I think if I put it upright, then the leaves will slide down. So I've really given myself quite a problem here. But as I say, I'm someone that perseveres. So I will be back in a few hours. Okay, friends. Well, here I am at my countdown calendar. My chrysanthemums from the last few weeks have finally sort of faded out. There's a few left in there, but I've got new flowers, and then I decided to put them in this green glass jug, which I think is really supposed to be more like a summer thing, but I thought it went quite well with the theme. Over the last week, I've not filmed every time, I got a couple of these little sort of haunted castles, and then a couple of these ghosties. A few more of the windows had nothing in them, I suppose because some of the counters had slipped into another cavity. I think I probably like the little castles the best. I have to also say that I don't think this is an official Nightmare Before Christmas gift. I think it's a kind of rip-off one. It's not very expensive, which should have warned me, but it does look on the outside quite professional. Anyway, I will now do oh dear, someone's not happy. I think that's somebody next door. Okay. I will now do another door and we'll see what we get today. Okay, in number 12 again, there was nothing. I'll just try 13, which is for me actually a very lucky number, and then I'll leave this for today. Okay, so here is this 13 open, and it has got 2 things in it. So is that lucky? I don't know. Got a little sort of grinning pumpkin. Okay, and what else? Okay, another grinning pumpkin. So we have our own little pumpkin patch. Hello again, friends. I've just realised I didn't even introduce myself or say welcome to the video. So welcome. My name is Kate. I'm Kate Sanderson. I'm a horror film actress. I'm trying to get this YouTube going. It's really helping me to do it, though I'm not getting very many views, but thank you for clicking on this video. Now, next of all, I will just say that completely unrelated to Halloween, I met Strawberry Shortcake this week. I just was at an event and I saw Strawberry Shortcake. If you're a fan of my channel, you may know I made a strawberry video earlier in the summer, and so I was very thrilled to meet Strawberry Shortcake. And yeah, here's a little footage of her. And I received this cupcake, which is I think in the blackberry flavour, and also a little strawberry shortcake macaron. And also I received this really pretty friendship bracelet with little strawberries on it from Strawberry Shortcake. So that was amazing. As I say, no relation to Halloween, but that was really nice. Okay, friends, well, here is my dining room table. I've taken away this sort of pumpkin tablecloth, and I'm going to try and do a slightly more Halloween-y table. So that's what I'm going to get on with. Okay, first step, this kind of very bright lime green cloth, which I'm hoping will be a good base for the table. Secondly, I've added just a traditional little square tablecloth to kind of break up the green, and now get some autumn leaves. Hello friends, well, here is some autumn leaves I gathered when I went to the woods last week, as I think I will have put into this video. They are looking a tiny bit maybe too shrivelly, but I like the shape, so I think I'm going to keep them. Okay, what else? Okay, I've now added these fairy tale pumpkins to the middle, and let's see what else. I've added some apples now. Don't know how those look, but keep going. Hello again, friends. Well, now I've added some clementines and some of my orange pumpkins again. I really didn't want to go orange with this, but I feel it's helping, so okay. Hello friends, well, I've now added some orange candlesticks. I think it's probably a bit too complicated, but I'm just kind of going for an idea. I will now set the table for some lunch. My aunt is coming to stay today, so we might have some spooky pasta here, or we may have it in front of the TV, but I'll put out some placemats, and tonight I will take a film and we'll see how it looked finally with the candles lit and everything. Okay, friends, well, here is the finished table for now. I'm not lighting the candles because obviously it's the middle of the day. It's just my attempt to make a sort of Halloween-y autumnal table, and we'll see how it looks tonight. Okay. I have another Halloween plushie. I've just really got to be stopped. In fact, it's a plushie with a plushie. So cute. Yeah. I love flowers. My lamp looks a bit drunk over there, but it works. I've tested them. So if I just managed to get these bedside drawers in a sort of second-hand charity shop. So that's good. I really needed to have a pair of bedside tables. I don't think they're really right for this bed or bedroom. I think, you know, something lighter and more elegant looking would be good, but the truth is it's the best one that they had, and I have time to look for the ideal bedside tables. And in the meantime, it's just really good to have them and a bit more storage. So little by little, just getting stuff done. Oh, the bed looks wrinkly. Okay. Oops. Okay. Oh dear. Now I'm going to start getting really obsessive about this. Okay. Oh no, it's not. Oh no, look. Okay. That's a bit better. Okay. Right. Hello again, friends. Well, here is my Mod Podge luminary. Wow, it's just not looking good at all a few hours later. But, you know, I will keep going with it, and maybe what I could do is I could line it inside with some tissue paper or something, and then put an LED light, obviously not a real candle light, inside it. I will make it work in some way. But right now, it's just looking pretty awful. Okay. Hello again, friends. It's later in the day. I've prepared the table a bit more. I put down quite a bit of Halloween candy on the fruit stand. And then I will light this little owl candle holder and when it gets dark. And yeah, my aunt is coming to stay, so we shall hopefully have a nice dinner here when she arrives. I found this little sign saying "Eek" in amongst my Halloween decorations, and I'm absolutely sure I did not buy this. Possibly my mum bought it, or maybe my sister, but I did not buy this. Anyway, I put it up, just folded it in between some books. So there you go. Whoever bought this, thank you very much. Maybe you're the Halloween fairy. Okay, good. I finally found my autumn teapot. It was behind some things and I just didn't see it in the big pantry. And here I've got my nice Halloween cup from my sister and a biscuit barrel for Cookie. Here's the rose hips I gathered in the wood. I think I could make a tiny amount of rosehip syrup, and perhaps I will be able to, but actually when I looked at the recipe they seemed to say you should have like bushels of rosehips to make rosehip syrup. So anyway, they're still very beautiful, so they're just sitting there. And yeah, I think, you know, things are looking better. I've got some little Halloween squishmallows there, one bat and one Dracula. And then here is a little theatre angel, which I got on the opening night of Recipe for a Perfect Wife in the West End from my friend Nadine. So it's a good luck charm from the West End. So I love that. And I also have this Merlin. I'm sure I have another Merlin as well. I think I got this in a charity shop, and he should have a stake, but there was no stake there. But I have another Merlin who has a stake. I don't know where I'm going with this conversation. Okay. The good thing when someone comes to stay is you really have to do a bit more tidying up and organising than you might have done for yourself, which is a bit sad. I've got my sort of autumnal Halloweeny mugs here on my mug tree. And then I really like the way these bits of glass look together. Yeah, I've still not made any sort of homemade beauty remedy like I was going to put in that glass bottle at the back. But still, it looks nice there. And hey, you know, I might do it yet. And the ghoul, my ghoul up here, he looks as if he's been decapitated, which might be kind of appropriate for Halloween, but I think I'll try and prop him up again. I wonder if these decals last, like till next year. If you put them away carefully, can you put them back on the window again? I'll find out. Okay. I also, in my little witchy corner, I've got these mini broomsticks from the works. I don't know what I'll do with them. Maybe not till this next year. Maybe will I do something. But I just thought they were so cute. And the paper looks a bit dusty. Okay. And then, yeah. It's very nice to feel a bit organised. And there's my crocodile bones. This little bottle of wine, or these bottles, plural, are from my relative who's coming to stay. It's not for me. I don't drink alcohol. Okay, Cookie, just coming. Okay, another little update later on my strange luminary. It's looking really shaggy. I'm going to say it's like a werewolf luminary. But as I said, I'm going to persevere with it and maybe put some lining inside it. Sometimes I get these ideas and, you know, they're just questionable. Okay, right. Just going to watch Spooky Kids. This is really nice. Hello again, friends. I thought this knobbly wooden thing was something sort of charming and rustic, but apparently It's an acorn that a gall wasp has laid a larvae in. So there's a wasp larvae in there. So I will be returning this to the forest at some point. I certainly do not want that coming to life in my house. So there you go. You learn something every day. So friends, I'm at the Great Holland Pits Nature Reserve, where I'm going to try and find some autumn leaves. I've never been here before, so I'm just going to have a little look round. Probably won't film a huge amount here, but we'll see. It looks very pretty, but there were cars parked back there, so I'm not the only person here. So anyway, when I'm on my own, I will keep my eyes and ears peeled, but it's looking idyllic. Well, here's a little bit of water, and then there's some lovely fungi on that log, but I can't get over there because there's a fence and I think they don't want you to go over there. Hopefully there'll be some other fungi on the walk. Well, I'm sitting inside a sort of a hide area and just looking at the water here. You can imagine, I mean, this place is beautiful in all seasons, but in summer, I mean, it must be something else too, quite heavenly. And then the foliage on the trees is just so beautiful. Okay, I better keep moving. Well friends, here's a spooky little bridge and yeah, very enchanted looking scene, so I'll go a little way this path, have a wee look. Hello friends, just to prove to you that I am actually here, I'm in the Great Holland Pits. There's nothing pitsy about it, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's a wonderful day in October and yeah, keep going. These acorns look sort of really kind of huge and lush. Some more up there. What a day. I find these leaves that are just turning pink very kind of sort of fairy-like and magical. Yeah, this is a really good place for me. Wow, that is quite something. And there's a lovely dog there as well. Good grief. All the atmosphere. Goodness, Essex is so full of beautiful places. I'll go a little bit further. There's nothing like a grass path. This is kind of leading me down the path of fancy. Okay. I think these Great Holland Pits are a place that you could explore many times. There's just a lot to see. So I'm going to go up this one more path and make my way back to the main path and go home, because it's been a wonderful outing, but I think I've got everything I need for today and I will definitely be back. When the sun shines through autumn leaves, it just looks so amazing. Okay, with that I must leave here. Right. Hello friends, well I'm back from my walk and here is the cones and acorns and rose hips and leaves that I got. So I'm going to try and make rose hip syrup tomorrow, I think, and the idea I had with my leaves, I'll have to read up on that a bit more, but it was a really wonderful walk and really happy to have done it and to be back home now. Okay friends, well here is my table lit up. It's almost dark. It's not quite dark. I wish I had a dimmer switch in this room. That would be nice, but it's just one of the many things that could maybe eventually get. Cookie's getting a bit agitato. I don't know why. Hello, Cookie. If I just come up and close here, you can see my little owl with the candle in it, all the Halloween candy. So yeah. And then got some nice orange candles there. Maybe if I try to, oh, I do like my curtains. Yeah, they're nice. They're very romantic looking. maybe if I put out the, let's try and putting out the light for 1 minute, see how it looks. Oh, okay. That's quite atmospheric. Yes, that's nice. Okay, I'll try just maybe putting on one light. Oh, no, that's good, that's good. Okay, there you go. Maybe put on one more light. No, that's not so good really. It's just a bit sort of ordinary looking. Okay, well, I've not done a lot of formal tables in this house, and doing the table is something I always loved. So this is first of many. I'm going to try and do a lot more table settings. And yeah, this is good. Okay, I've got to meet my auntie at the train. Lovely. Hello friends, it's a few days later. Am I in the right place here? Okay. Hello friends, it's a few days later. My auntie has arrived. We had a very nice dinner of some pasta at our Halloween table. It's been lovely having her here. The time's gone in. What can I say? It's very, very nice to have her come and stay, and to feel that the house is looking more able for a guest to stay and more the way I want it. So that's all been great. Cookie is, I would say the insulin is helping him. It's lifting him up, especially after he's had his insulin. He definitely looks better for some time afterwards. So that's good. That's a blessing. Maybe if his glucose levels can go down to normal, then that will be a game changer. You may have noticed that the video was somewhat back to front. I did my woodland walk where I gathered my leaves and my autumn things after the first part of the video, when actually I had the walk before it. The thing is that when you put a walk onto YouTube or like something a bit vague like that, it makes people click off. It's not easy to keep people watching, so I thought that I would it's such a beautiful walk, I would put it in just some way into the video. But actually the leaves and things for which I made the luminary, for example, I did get on that walk, so it was somewhat back to front. So that's just a disclosure there. I'll show you how my luminary is looking and what I've kind of decided about it. It's interesting. It's been a learning process. You will have seen in that video that I also at one point was looking at a DVD called Spooky Kids, and this is again a movie that I watch every year. It's marketed to look somewhat like Spooky House, which I talked about the other week, and which stars Sir Ben Kingsley. There's actually no relation between these DVDs. I think they've just done this to make it more recognizable to people who like Spooky House. It originally was called The Hybrid Family, and it's about some young people whose parents are a witch and a vampire, and Paul Sorvino plays, now I do believe he is the kind of grandpa vampire of the dad, who is the dad vampire, and then the mum of the family is a witch, and she has a mum who's also a witch, a grandma figure. And it's just a really cute film. It's strange because I wouldn't say the cinematography is what I'd call cinematic. How can I explain that? Yes, it's a slightly more down to earth looking cinema style, but the score, the music for it is very, very cinematic and emotional and kind of amazing. And I really like Spooky Kids. It's a very sweet story, and once I just enjoy watching it every year. And it's interesting because Paul Sorvino is a great actor who's now sadly, I think, passed away. He reminds me of my teenage years because he was obviously in The Firm with Tom Cruise, which is a big movie when I was young. And obviously he's a superb actor. And although this is a kind of a lightweight, in a sense, story for him, he plays the part with complete gravitas as a proper actor should. And he's super. But like the cover here of these children going up to the mansion, that's not related to the story at all, but I do enjoy Spooky Kids. And if you like sort of lighter hearted Halloweeny stories, I recommend Spooky Kids and Spooky House. Okay friends, now this rather bizarre object is my luminary so far. It's kind of weird, but I have now covered it with leaves. And I've decided I don't think I'm going to put tissue paper inside it. What I did was, I've got other leaves inside it. So I think tonight I'm going to put an LED light inside, and I'll just see how that looks, in a darker room. I can't say this has been a great success, but it was still worth trying. And I do believe with a craft project, you don't throw away something that didn't quite work. You try and find a way of kind of making it work rather than wasting what you had. So there you go. I will tonight, when it's dark, I will light this up with an LED light and we'll just see how it looks. Okay. I was looking at my plushie family the other day and thinking how I didn't understand what this little creature here was. And I'm quite sure now that he's a squirrel, because look at his tail. And he's holding a nut. So there you go. After several years of having this plushie and really liking him, it's occurred to me he's not a cat or a fox, he's a squirrel. So there you go, just another little thought. I unpacked a few more of my Halloween decorations, and one that I found was this card, which I bought. Let's have a closer look. I bought this in Barnes & Noble when I visited America a few years. Forgive the crumpled seat cover in the background there. It's the only time I've ever been to a Barnes & Noble. Oh, forgive my tummy grumbling. Oh, that's awful. Hang on. Hello again, friends. Well, that was nice and embarrassing. My tummy was grumbling so much there, you must have heard it. Anyway, I've gone and had some muesli. Hopefully that will be fine. Hopefully I won't start burping now. Anyway, yes, I bought this card the only time I've ever visited a Barnes & Noble. Not been in America since before COVID. And I love Barnes & Noble, and I really love this little trick or treat card of, so I think it's a candy corn. Probably if you have like a Halloween tree, you could remove this candy corn and hang it up, or just hang it up anywhere. But I've just actually kept it on the card. I don't think it just says, hope is sweet. Oh, cute. Yeah, I just kept it as a card and I hang it up every year. So my auntie's American and I asked her, what is a candy corn? Because I do see it on American vlogs, and I know it's a Halloween motif in America. And she said it's a sweet version, a sort of candy version of a real little ear of corn on the cob. And I think it's made of corn syrup and sugars, and it doesn't really taste of very much. But that's what it is. It's a candy corn and it's kind of Halloween-y. So I did see some candy corn on eBay and I was thinking about ordering it, but it was actually quite expensive. And I thought, I think if I ever get back to the States, certainly like before next Halloween, I'll maybe try and buy some candy corn and taste it on my video, rather than buy some candy corn that's maybe been on Amazon for months and months and months. So anyway, that's another of my Halloween decorations. So here we have another Halloween item of mine. It's kind of in pastel colours, so maybe it doesn't initially seem Halloween-y, but if we look, there is a witch with a cauldron, and she has a wand, and then there's a snake slithering around, and they do look somewhat spooky characters, and it says, cast a spell on you, and it's by a company called Toki Doki. And I actually got this fan free of charge at brand licensing a few years ago. If I turn around the other side, there's definitely a very witchy looking lady with sort of tarot cards, oh dear. Yes, it looks very kind of spooky. I looked up Toki Doki on the internet, and it seems you can get sort of something called a dad hat by Toki Doki. And it did look nice. It's like a baseball hat with some little kind of ghosties on it, but it seemed to be about £40 or something. I mean, more expensive than I would consider buying. So I'm happy I got this little fan, but no, it's okay. I don't need to get anything else at the moment, though maybe I do want to go to Japan one day. Maybe I'll get something Toki Doki there and it won't cost like £40. Okie dokie. Okay, if we come down here, there's this Halloween painted pebble. I got this once when I was working on a Halloween event at Hemel Hempstead in the UK, and we were doing workshops of craft with the children, and we were not making these rocks. What happened was, it was quite bizarre. On the way home, I saw this twinkling under a streetlight, and it was very near to Halloween, and I picked it up and I discovered that basically there was an initiative in Hemel Hempstead to paint rocks like this and leave them out for people to either take or to exchange with someone else. And you could share a picture of the rock in its new place on Facebook, which I think I did, can't remember, think I did, and I just thought it was a really charming and beautifully done rock. Whatever varnish they've used, it's got no stickiness to it. So it says hidden rocks or Love on the rocks is life. Okay, so that was really something which I've always treasured. So whoever made this, if you're watching, thank you very much. It's a lovely item, and it just shows that crafted things can, they can endure, and they don't have to just be thrown in the bin. They can give pleasure year after year. So that's another one of my Halloween things that I found. Hi, Cookie. Here is another Halloween story of mine. I've not got batteries for all the little sort of lights and gizmos that I have for Halloween, which I'll try and do today. It's just, I think, been partly a symptom of having moved in, and of course my auntie came to stay, which is lovely, but I've been trying to get things nice for her, and this is one of the jobs which before Halloween you should make sure you have batteries and chargers and all that kind of thing that you're going to need for your little doodads. And so, as I say, today I'll try and get batteries, and that will be nice. And here is a slightly closer look at my spooky poster for Travelling Storybox. I played the grandma in this version of Little Red Riding Hood. It was called Little Golden Hood, and it was just a beautiful memory. I remember that they filled the little box theatre with like autumn leaves, and it looked like a fairy tale. I don't know what more the Travelling Storybox ever did. Maybe they did lots of stuff, they just didn't ask me. But I always treasure this poster, and I treasure those memories of being in this version of Little Red Riding Hood. It was truly lovely. Partly, and I suppose every season is about gathering these memories and remembering them. And Halloween is the same. Yeah. I've got to get these little ghosty lights going tonight. That would be cute. Well, here, friends, is another kind of stone which I painted in a craft workshop, and I thought it really looked like a ghost. So I simply painted it white and put a little face on it. And I do think it was a good subject for being a ghost. If I turn around, let's just see. Oh, it's quite heavy. Let's see. Oh yeah, it says the Pentagon Pebble Shopping. Take a picture and then retie it. Then let's wait and see who's next to find it. Oh gosh, now I didn't rehide it. I just took it home. I painted my pebble and I took it home. But every Halloween, okay, maybe not last year because I was in the middle of moving house, I take out my ghost and I appreciate it. Where someone else might have just thought it was a bit rubbish and thrown it away. But it's very heavy, actually. It would be a good paperweight. If I was doing a spooky desk next year, I could have that. And here I have just a little crystal ball. I got this for a show once. I'm an actor and it was needed for a show, for a prop. I've never felt like, I've sometimes looked into the crystal ball, never felt like I could tell the future or anything. So I don't think that really works. And then this is a little sort of ghosty doodad, which actually makes a noise, and the little bits of white stuff whirl around. It's another one that I do need to get batteries for, and I will try and do that again today and show you how it works tonight, because I do like this little ghost. I think it was just from Safeway or Sainsbury's in the UK just years ago, and really nice. So there you go. That's all good. Cookie, are you going to look at Mummy for a minute? You going to look at Mummy? Look at this. We've eaten all the candy in the witch, my auntie and I. Oh, it's a bit shameful. Shouldn't do that. Okay, it is once a year. I never normally buy bags of just sweets like that. Okay. Here I have a bookcase which is mostly like children's books, which I keep in one place because I do like to read out children's literature on YouTube, and I have another YouTube channel where I've done that more in the past. And here we have another Happy Halloween banner, which I've tried to hang up, but I found that I couldn't stick thumbtacks into the walls because they were such hard plaster, and I don't have another. There is another mantelpiece in my other room, which next year I could put this up on, but this year that room is in total chaos, so I'm afraid that was beyond me. And we have a couple more of our Halloween purple doilies, which I didn't use in my front entrance. So again, the detritus of a slightly missed Halloween, because I'm still in a mess in my house. I would say that over the last week, because it is a week ago since I did this, almost 6 days, I'm still pleased with this Halloween table setting. I think it's really quite sweet. I'm happy that I got those branches of leaves just when I went to the woodlands, as I showed you in my walk. That's part of what I brought home. And they are lovely, strong shape, and they were free. They were just lying on the forest floor, so it was free to take them. I do love to gather things that are free and obviously not hurting the environment and using those. Although I also love to buy flowers, it's also good sometimes to think, there is a budget option. You can just maybe find some nice branches of leaves that the trees have shed and put those in a vase instead. If I zone down in our candy bowl, all the chocolate eclairs have gone. Some apples have gone, quite a few. Yes, ran out of space again. Some apples have gone, quite a lot of the tangerines have gone. And indeed, we've got some fruit, boiled sweets left, which were very nice. So we didn't finish all the candy, but we did quite well. But it's just, if sweets are there, you eat them, don't you? It's, yeah, there you go. Happy time with my table. Hello again, friends. Well, it's not nighttime, but I did get batteries from my little ghosties. And, that's really nice. They're actually a lot whiter looking than they look on film. These are looking kind of yellow, but they're actually rather soft and white looking. So good. Okay, he's not lost his ability to scare. Okay. Hello friends, well here is my infamous leaf luminary at night in the dark, and I don't know how practical it is to have something that looks powerful only when it really is dark. I guess it could be good for telling ghost stories or something. I'll try and move this around a bit so you can see some of the leaves and how, although it looks pretty bizarre in the daytime, at night it's quite, like this leaf has all these holes in it and actually it's quite striking looking. And I'm glad I didn't put tissue paper inside. I think that just putting some of the leaves inside was good. I don't know whether it is weird or whether it does have, a sort of a Halloween vibe. Well, I like it, and yeah, I'm glad I persevered with it. So I'll put on the light so you can see how it is with the light on. Hello again, friends. Well, it's the next day. I've actually changed my autumn table. I felt the lime green cloth was looking a bit tired, so I've changed around my table. I'll close up on my luminary again. I think it does look autumnal, and in fact it is a bit Halloweeny looking. I'm glad I did it. Yes, it's quite cozy, and yeah. Yes, it's nice. This is actually an African tablecloth given to me by my friend Nadine when she went to Tenerife. So many other beautiful items that I've got were given to me by Nadine. In the middle here, this circular piece looks to me sort of like as if it's something to do with eternity or a fire or something. And it's just the most beautiful mustard colour. And really the other things on the table I've just sort of rearranged from last week. And I put back the cream candles rather than the orange ones, even though it is almost Halloween and should be using up my orange candles. But, there's no big law. I could have orange candles after Halloween. It's fine. So I really like the lime green, but I do feel that the mustard is also rather restful and pretty. And yeah, I'm glad that I persevered with my luminary. I think perhaps these stalks on the leaves I could snip off and not lose anything. But anyway, There you go, spooky vibes. Well, hello friends, I think I'm going to end the video here. I am wearing this t-shirt saying host. I had it on earlier in the video and I didn't actually get around to mentioning why. I also have a host hat and a host bag, which has currently got all my socks in it that need to be paired up, but you know, it goes like this. Basically, Host is now called Demon Host, and it's a horror movie I was in and co-produced a couple of years ago now. It's available free on YouTube, and I will try and put a link to Demon Host in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for going to the end. Although it's a horror movie, Demon Host has a Christian background as well, and I have a really good part of Newt. So if you have time, please have a look at Demon Host. Many of my other films are on YouTube as well, but I had more input into that one. And so thank you, and I will see you on my next video.